Pens, they win 5 straight, then they lose 3 straight right now. You're headed to at Dallas, a tough game, then at Flyers, and then Flyers at home. So you can't go to win 5 straight and then lose 5 straight. The team had something going there. But the good thing is if you buy into what Mike Sullivan is saying, Paul, is that they played really well the last 2 games. They lost both games. I watched last night's game, and I thought, yes, they did play tough. They were in it, and maybe a break here or there. They can't take penalties at the end of games. Maybe it wasn't last night, the night before, whatever night it was, but they lost in Tampa. They should have won that game. They could have won that game. And, if you look at that last play where the glove was maybe across the line, it wasn't called a goal on the ice. There wasn't any definitive evidence to overturn it. So I personally think it was the right call.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
it would have got him into overtime, got him a point, but they lost the game. So a loss is a loss to me.
Yeah, a loss is a loss. Again, I get tired. It's just like Clint Hurdle all season long kept talking about how, they're having these moral victories.
And Neil Huntington,
playing well and this and that. You know what? Battling to the end. Who cares? You got to win. That's the bottom line. And to me, that goal is a classic example. It took 8 minutes to review that. That's not what replay was for.
Yeah, I think
look at it real quick, and it was called not a goal on the ice. Look at it real quick in 25, 30 seconds. If you can't tell definitively the puck is over the line, okay, it's over. And it's not an egregiously bad call.
It wasn't. You couldn't tell if it went over.
That's my point.
I couldn't really tell if it went over. And you know what? Replay, replay and injuries.
It was supposed to overturn egregiously bad calls. We've gotten it to the point now where everyone wants every single call to be called exactly perfectly right. And we have these 8-minute reviews of things that should be looked at for 10 seconds. That play like that, if you can't see quickly, okay, the puck is actually way over the line or it's over the line or whatever. If you can't see that in 30 seconds, leave it the way it is and move on.
Why can't they put something in a puck that when it crosses the line, it automatically goes off? So there's no dispute at that point with a puck. I would think that would be easy.
Does it have to go all the way across?
Yeah, you would have to go all the way across the line. So
how would you do that?
Well, you'd have to put some kind of sensor on the back end of the line and a sensor on the puck, so when it goes across, it's exactly a goal, even if it's up here, down here, in a glove, under your legs, whatever.
That would be a very, very, very expensive and lengthy process to come up with that technology.
Well, I'm sure they could come up with it, but it would solve a lot of problems. My biggest problem is the replay in football, and now with these, is it interference? Is it not interference? I can't believe you can challenge that. It's ruining the game for me.
Well, it is, but the whole point is the reason it's ruining the game is because we see these calls, and when you watch them in slow motion after the fact, you say, well, wow, there was a lot of contact there. That should be a pass interference. But the NFL has basically said very quickly, very clearly, unless it's egregiously bad, we're not going to overturn the will, because it's a judgment call. We're not going to overturn what the umpire does. That's why everyone's frustrated. The referee, that's why everyone's frustrated with it. But they're doing the right thing. The next step is get rid of that stupid rule.
All right, let's go out to Mike and Ross. What's up, Mike? Mike, you there?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Good, thanks for calling.
Hey, I called last night. I apologize for calling 2 nights in a row and taking someone's spot.
That's all right.
I was talking about the draft last night, how the Steelers haven't had any good late-round draft picks lately.
Yeah.
Their first-rounders, Bush is probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Watt, I like. There's a few I like, but I'm talking about the late-rounders. They just haven't done very good under Colbert, I don't think.
Yeah, but Mike, can you name a team that has done really well with late-round draft picks that are solid picks? I think the Steelers have done a really good job with late-round picks. There's Vince Williams, for example. He was a 6th rounder. He's playing well. Ramon Foster was an undrafted free agent. Yeah. He's a starter. I got to look at this team. They do have a ton of first rounders, but I actually thought they did fairly well with late round picks. Even Antonio Brown. You're not going to hit on them all, but if you hit on 1 or 2 every draft class, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're not going to hit on one or two every draft class, not the late round pick.
No, I'm just saying overall. If you hit overall, whether it's a first, second, or third.
You need to hit on your first and second guys more often than you miss. And that's been actually my issue with them is their first, second, and third round picks. You know, they leave a lot to be desired for most part in most years. That's been a bigger issue to me than the back end of it.
I thought their first rounders have been pretty good outside of a handful of guys. Their second rounders, they've hit and missed on them. I can think of a couple.
Terrell Edmonds, is he a first-round pick? Is he?
Well, it's early on. So
he's a solid NFL safety.
Later in the draft.
He's a solid NFL safety.
Artie Burns,
third,
no.
fourth rounder.
Jarvis Jones, no.
You know what I mean? If you look at it, they've had a couple
even
of guys.
Ziggy Hood, no.
I mean, they've had a number of guys. But my point is, the first, second, and third round, you got to hit on those guys most of the time.
All right, Henry just tweeted us, and he said Michigan State has defeated Penn State 4 times in the past 5 years. Penn State just can't win in that stadium, it seems like. So what's your prediction? He wants your prediction for that Penn State-Michigan State game.
I think it is going to be something like Penn State 20, Michigan State 6. I think Penn State wins by double digits.
Yeah, I think Penn State wins that game, too.
Ugly, nonsensical.
They've had problems.
Yeah.
They've had problems with Michigan State. Boy, would that be disappointed for Penn State fans if they lose that game. All right, back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Pete in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Pete?
My man, Rich, how are you?
What up, buddy? Nice to hear from you.
All right. Hey, Rich, we built an atom bomb 75 years ago. We put a man on the moon 50 years ago. You're talking about putting a sensor on a goal line to see if the puck crosses. Should not be that hard to do.
We got a lot of smart people, especially across the street at CMU.
Call Stanford and get it done. No, call Stanford, Berkeley, or MIT. They'll do it within 24 hours.
CMU!
How many goals do you estimate are in the NHL in a season?
See, Rich, CMU is not in the category of MIT, Stanford, and Berkeley when it comes to the sciences. Look at the World University rankings. It will tell the truth. Rich, a couple of people called this week about Bob Nutting not spending money. You know the reason why he never will? As long as the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays continue to play winning baseball and go to the playoffs with the same or lesser payroll than the Pirates, that is his argument. He will say, if they can do it, why can't we? Thank you.
I see your point, Pete. I do. I see the point there that if one team can get to the postseason every year as a small payroll team, then him saying we can do it too. But it's gotten to the point where I don't think he can say there's not anything he can say to me as a Pirates fan that would win my trust back unless he said, hey, I'm going to spend $120 million. We're going to go out and get pieces this year. We're going to try to compete. That's the only thing that would win me over.
Yeah. Well, we got to get to a break. We'll talk about that afterwards.
All right, we're going to talk about this. All right, we got to go to a break. Back in a couple minutes. They're yelling at us.